Praise the Lord, everyone. Shine back with another video for you all. I just wanted to do a brief video about David Taylor yet again having another false prophecy. Now, the clip that you're about to see right here is courtesy of the YouTube channel David E. Taylor Culture Watch JMMI. Now, they have a lot of great clips concerning David and JMMI about some of the far things that he says and people within the ministry, things they do and they say. And I think this is really great when you have multiple people kind of having a watchful eye over David and JMMI to kind of to screenshot things, to record things. So if ever they do something and it doesn't work out, and they try to cover their tracks by either not uploading a video that may have went live or just removing something that does not put the ministry in a good light, it's good to have these things on hand so that we can prove what we say that they're saying. So we're just going to look at this video and we're going to see concerning this crusade that was supposed to be going on at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, what they have to say about it.
July the 10th and 11th in Orlando, Florida. Book your tickets now. Know that the coronavirus cannot stop what God has for you. And what God has for you is in Orlando, Florida. Book your tickets. Do not cancel your flights. The corona will be over April the 1st, according to our Apostle Taylor. What do you think about that, Brianna?
That's so amazing because, Apostle, God actually spoke to Apostle and told him, and you can see it here, as soon as this coronavirus came, it's going to be as fast as it leaves. An apostle, he's a face-to-face prophet. And so the Lord, when he speaks to him, it's face-to-face, it's mouth-to-mouth, eye-to-eye. And so these words are coming from the face of Jesus. And so it's a guarantee. It's not a question of if or when. It's just a question of watch it happen.
So these women who are speaking on behalf of David, they just said that according to their apostle, that April 1st, this coronavirus will be over. Now, here it is, middle of May, and this coronavirus is not over. Now, I will admit, thank God that the restrictions are starting to lighten up some, but it's still an issue. It's still a pandemic. And, I believe that we're actually supposed to be anticipating a potential second wave of this as things start to open back up. People are, not going to practice social distancing, and this thing is there's supposed to be like a resurgence of this. I hope that doesn't happen, but that seems to be the possibility. But nonetheless, David said by April 1st that this thing was supposed to be over with. Obviously, that didn't happen. And the lady said not to cancel your flight, book your tickets, because this thing is still supposed to happen. And, according to, David, he was told that as quick as this thing will have came, as quick as this thing will leave. And we're seeing that, that is not the case. At one point, when this all started in China, that was the epicenter of the whole coronavirus cases. Now the United States has become the epicenter and still is. So according to the length of time that we've been experiencing this, it hasn't left as quick as it came. And it kind of came very rapidly, and it's still here, it's still lingering around. So, David is supposed to be this face-to-face prophet. Everything that David gets is not supposed to be on his own accord, but it's supposed to have come from God, from Jesus himself, face-to-face, or the Father. And this lady is sitting here saying that David talks eye-to-eye, mouth-to-mouth, face-to-face. So all of these things that David is saying, he's supposed to be getting from, Christ himself. Okay, so now we're going to look at another clip.
is your announcement and update. Because of the coronavirus, this year's Miracle Arena Crusade, July 10th and 11th, has been extended by the Orlando governing authorities. They have extended the dates for all mass gatherings in Orlando in order to protect the public. This decision is out of the hands of Apostle Taylor, but be encouraged. The Miracle Arena Crusade in Orlando, Florida will happen and be greater than ever before. It has not been canceled. It has been rescheduled to next year, 2021, July 30th and 31st. This is good news, for God is in the midst of this decision taking place. You will now have more time to bring and gather your loved ones to come and have their lives changed.
So did you hear that? Now, in the clip that we just watched, David was told by God, who's creator of all, who knows all, was told that this thing would leave as fast as it came. And David also said, according to these women, that by April 1st, the coronavirus will be over. And if David said it, and he's supposed to be this prophet, then we can, assume that Christ himself told him this. So essentially, God told David, hey, April 1st, the thing is going to be over. But now we see here, this thing has actually been postponed a little over a whole year. It's supposed to be July 10th to the 11th. Now it's next year, July 30th to the 31st. Now, God told him that it would be over April 1st, and yet now it's being pushed back. Again, does God know all? Does God make mistakes? Now, someone may say, well, God is God. He can do what he wants. He can change his mind, which is true. God has actually changed his mind in the Bible. Exodus 32:14 says God repented of the evil that he was going to do, against Israel. So yes, God can do what he wants. God can change his mind. I'm all for that. But if God says to David that this thing will happen, and now they're saying that, well, this thing is not going to happen because of the virus. And in this video, they're saying that God is in the midst of this. This is actually good news because God is in the midst. Well, how was that good news? How was God in the midst of this? When he just told David, despite what's going on, this thing is still going to come to pass. And now, because of this thing is not going to come to pass. They may try to claim, well, Florida is telling them, hey, you all can't have it. They said it's out of David's hands. Okay, fine. That may be the case. But does not God supersede all of that? If God says it's going to happen, it doesn't matter what Florida says. If God says it's going to happen, you best believe it's going to happen. However it's supposed to happen. If God told David it's supposed to happen, then it should happen. But we see it was pushed back a whole year, a little over a year. And they're trying to spin it and make it seem like, oh, this is good because now you have more time to get more loved ones here. Now let's think about this. They are not canceling, but rescheduling this because of the coronavirus. And yet David claims that he can do all of these miraculous things. He can raise the dead and heal the sick. He's talking about bring people to this crusade because you will be healed of coronavirus. That's what he says. But it's very ironic that they are postponing this because of the very thing that they claim that they can heal. Now, I'm pretty sure if David was really out here, for real, healing people, if he was really out here healing people, the news would spread like wildfire. And I'm pretty sure they would authorities and whoever other powers that may be would say, you know what, you all need to go here. Because people, however it's happening, whether they believe in God or not, to say, you know what, people really are being healed here. And here is another opportunity, just like we talked about with the whole Kobe Bryant tragedy, the helicopter crash. Another opportunity where the world is on standby. And David E. Taylor is claiming to be able to do these things that will shake the world and turn it upside down, like he likes to say. And yet, he can do nothing about it. He has to follow the same guidelines just as everybody else. And this is no different than his 2014 Super Bowl prophecy that did not come to pass. These things are discrediting to God. Because if God tells you something, you best believe it's going to come to pass. And if this thing were to have come, then, why didn't David say anything ahead of time? When he was talking about this crusade, nowhere prior to the coronavirus even being a thing, nowhere did David ever say, you know what, I just got word from the Lord. Like he loves to say, I got word from the Lord that this coronavirus is going to come. And I'm telling you all now, the date is going to be July 30th to the 31st of 2021. The Lord told, before it became a thing here in the States, and possibly even before it became a thing, period, but at least before it became a thing in the States. But he did not say anything. Now it's here. Then he claims it's going to be over. It's not over. And he claims, don't cancel your flights, book your tickets. We're still going to have it despite what's going on. That's not happening. It's like everything that David says and does just falls apart before his face. And he's just relying on his mental hold that he has on people who believe him. I mean, he literally said, April 1st, this thing's going to be over. We're still going to have it. God is telling me we're still going to have it. Nothing is changing. We're going to heal you of this thing. And now it's being postponed. Deuteronomy 18:22 says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. But the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. All of these things that David says are just guesses. And if it comes to pass, he makes it seem like, oh yeah, the Lord told me this. It's just shots in the dark. And he's hoping that at least one lands. Even if it kind of looks like something kind of came to pass in a certain way, that's why he likes to speak in very generalized terms, very broad. So no matter how it looks, it's going to seem as though he prophesied it and it came to pass. But if something is too blunt, too blatant, to where he can't really cover it up, then that's when he removes things from the channel, or he just doesn't upload certain live streams where he says and claims certain things. So I just wanted to get on here and just showcase yet another failed prophecy. And, I really do hope, David And anyone from JMMI will, see these things and understand that, this is being said out of love. This is being said out of love, and to come out of the deception. Come out of the deception, please. Because the things he's saying, he is constantly demoting Christ. Constantly. And he is just, all of these things that he's saying, the Father told me this, Christ told me that, these things are not coming to pass. And yet he still moves the way he moves. And he does not show any signs of slowing down. So, I just wanted to make this video. I hope God gets the glory first and foremost out of this. And I pray whoever is intended to see this will see this and be blessed by it. So until next time, I love you all and God bless.